Hey everyone, Randy here from LionDesk, and I wanted to welcome you to today's webinar. I'm sure that there's going to be people joining us as I get going, but today I want to show you exactly how to set up your real estate business from lead to close without having to log into a dozen different systems to manage your business. Okay, a lot of people, when signing up for real estate technology or looking at real estate technologies, unfortunately, they're forced to utilize multiple different platforms to create their technology stack. This is kind of completely different, right? Now, I'm guessing for a lot of you guys, this probably isn't your first webinar. And the first thing that I want to mention is if you guys have failed to set up an automated system to run your business in the past, it's not your fault. There's a ton of information out there, a lot of technology, and it can get confusing and darn right hard to figure out. Many times it's overload that really keeps us from succeeding when putting these systems into place. We kind of get the analysis paralysis, or if I get this, what about this? There's just a ton of stuff going on. So I don't want you guys to worry about that today. If you've been concerned in the past that you can't succeed with technology, I want to put those fears a rest to you. You guys can do this. You just need the right person to explain it to you, to hold your hand during the process in order to get advanced technologies or technologies to help you automate your business. Automation is around us every day, right? Every single day, there's more and more things that automates our business. So our businesses as a whole, right? I mean, from manufacturing to this, and many real estate agents just don't have a lot of automated processes when trying to conduct their business. And I'm here to kind of show you guys today, there are a lot of different things that you can do to do that. So there's two things that typically most agents are really trying to overcome, and that they have probably the biggest challenges with. One is traffic, right, and generating leads, and the other side is conversion, right? We focus in on the conversion side. LionDesk, our number one focus is to create intelligent, highly functional sales tools for sales professionals that help automate that whole follow-up and stay in touch process, utilizing different tactics, things like email and video and a lot of other things that we plug into the system to kind of help make your guys' lives a lot easier. So if that's what you're here for, I know you guys want to be better agents, better team leaders, better brokers, and I want to show you how to make that happen today. So a little backstory, again, my name is Randy. I am the business development manager over at LionDesk, and I've been in the real estate tech space for, I think almost 10 years now. And for years, like people, when I'd be working with them, I've worked with thousands of agents and teams and brokerages, and I attend all the big conferences. And one of the number one things that I was always getting asked is they said, hey, Randy, I wish that there was a system that I could manage everything in, or the majority of it. I'm buying this for this. I'm buying a CRM. I'm buying transaction management. I'm buying a task management tool. I'm keeping track of things in my Google account. There's all of these different things going on. If I could just have one place to put that, it would make my life so much easier. It would make my assistant or my team or my marketing assistant, so we're always on the same page. This was a huge disconnect, right? And, for years I just said, hey, there's not really a solution. You got to think about it like kind of assembling a car. You need a motor and a transmission. You need the tires. You need all these different things in order to complete this technology stack, is what I call it, in order to conduct business. So when I learned about LionDesk, at first I was like, no way, this can't be right. Does it really do all of these different things, these claim to fame, lead to close type of platform? And they were relatively new at the time. And I kind of dug into the system and I took a deeper look, and I was really actually quite impressed that in, 3.5 years, they were able to build such a robust, affordable system that had a lot of the tools that everybody was already using, but it was pushed in or put into one platform. And the other thing that was cool about it is everything was talking, right? Like everything was connected, so that like if you did something in the marketing side and then you followed the lead through to the transactional side, everything was there. Your notes, your comments, your tasking, the entire lifespan of that lead through nutrition, through active, through pending, and through close was all in one place. So you didn't have to log in again to to multiple platforms, which I thought was really amazing. So, today we're going to go over a lot of things. And before I do that, I'm going to do this at a kind of a higher level. So I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty. We certainly have trainings and demos and things like that that we can get you on if that's something that you're interested in. This is a little bit more high level today. So before I begin, if you're on Facebook or you have some multiple tabs open, if you wouldn't mind closing those out, put your phone on silent, grab a pen and paper, because I do want to get through some things with you guys that I think that you guys will like. I think that it's beneficial just to give me some, about 30 minutes of your attention here, and I'll get you through as quickly as possible, okay? So a couple promises here. One thing that I want to do is I want to help you guys or show you guys the fact that you can get rid of multiple logins. You guys can save money, save time, and finally have like a hub to run your business from, right? Everything that's kind of going on, I want it in one place so that you guys know based upon your growth and your success, kind of like what your roadmap is. So one login, get rid of that stuff, and help automate that process, right? So another thing that I want to talk to you about is making sure that you guys have clean data. So a lot of people, when I talk to people, I'm like, hey, where's all your contacts? And they're like Excel or Google or Outlook. And those aren't necessarily CRMs, right? Some people might think they are. That's pretty crazy, but there are other CRMs out there that you're probably familiar with, things like Top Producer, etc. I want to show you how to get your data from one of those platforms, obviously, into our platform, or making sure that it's at least clean. The other thing that I want to show you guys is how you don't have to recreate the wheel. So typically when you get into a platform or a technology solution, you kind of got to do everything on your own. And that's not the case with LionDesk. Like things like tasking campaigns and email drip campaigns and text messages and scripting and all of that stuff. We have a lot of that stuff that's just plug and play. So, if you guys get your contacts into the system, from there, you can literally use one of the hundreds and hundreds of templates that we already have in the system that not only we provide, but we've also opened the platform up to our thousands of users who are utilizing the platform, where they can actually share the campaigns that work for them. So if your specialty is working with expired listings, I'm not sure, I'm 100% sure that there's 20, 30, 40 different campaigns already built in the system that you guys can utilize and deploy immediately, okay? And the other thing is showing you guys how to kind of set everything up and setting a goal and planning your platform out before you actually get started, right? Thinking about how you envision your business running, operating, etc. I want you guys to kind of go into the system. I'm going to show you a little bit where you can go in and you can design it, you can customize it, you can configure the system around kind of how you guys conduct your business so that the system can then grow with you versus you trying to just start running and then go back to the system and try to figure it out later. I want you guys to have the system set up ahead of time so that when you do have that massive spike in growth or you do start working with hiring more people, that you can just plug and play and put them into the system, okay? So those are some of the things that we're going to cover. So I want to get you into the system here. Again, put your stuff away and keep in mind that I am going to have some special offer at the end. So make sure you guys stay with us. I'm going to definitely hook you guys up with some cool stuff. So getting into the system here, we're on LionDesk's website right now, www.liondesk.com. And this is actually where you can log in. You can kind of see some of the functionality that we have, other people that like it, testimonials, etc. If you guys want to see more of that, you can obviously go over to our LionDesk Facebook page. These are all real people, lots and lots of good reviews and feedback. There are some people that don't necessarily give us 5, far and few between, but if you guys want to check that out as well, we have that. And we also have a Facebook group for, I think there's around 5,000 or 6,000 of our clients currently who are utilizing our Facebook group for communication and feedback and things like that. So that's another great resource for you. So once you get into the system, you're going to wind up on this dashboard, okay? Now, if you were a new user or something like that in the dashboard, there's not going to be a whole lot there for you, right? Because you haven't set anything up. If you did already have some things set up, you would see some different things here. So activity slipping away, etc. But that's not what I want to focus in on first. I want to focus in on setting your actual system up, right? So this is like the not planning part that I mentioned before. So LionDesk is set up in such a way where it's highly configurable to adapt to how you run your office as an agent or as a team or as a broker, right? So you can go into the settings section. So after you were to sign up, you can come into this settings section, and from here you can configure and set up how you want things to flow. So I want you to think about this in your head real quick, like how is it that I want my deals not only to flow in or my leads to flow in, but like what are the stages, right? So like a new buyer lead comes in, how are we going to track them? What are we going to call it, etc. Right? This is like setting up your system ahead of time. Think of it kind of like setting up the assembly line, right? You're gonna spend this time and energy, whether it's a day or two or less or whatever. We're going to help you set it up for you, and you're going to go in and you're going to set this up. So when you start plugging contacts in, you can kind of pull the lever and things just start automatically happening for you. That's really what the mindset that we need to get into. So we're going to go into like the deal stages, right? So here you guys can configure your deal stages. These are the stages throughout the transaction. So, when a new listing agreement gets signed, what do you call it? Is that the listing agreement signed or the buyer agreement signed? Is that what you're going to call it? And then after that, is it going to flow into the marketing stage? So we can go in and we can put in, marketing or whatever, right? We can go ahead and put that in. And then we can drag and we can drop that and we can put that into whichever order we want. So your deals, when they come through, you want to know where they're currently at and what stage, and then obviously what needs to happen next, right? So that's this combined with your tasking. So something to really think about is managing the deal stages, right? We do have some stuff that's in there. You can use that, and you can obviously customize it however you want. Drag, drop, edit, remove. The next thing that you can do is you can customize your hotness levels, right? So these are like lead levels or contact levels. So if you wanted to go in and you wanted to say, new hot buyer, you can do that. Go ahead and you can add that stage in, or new hot seller, or sphere of influence, or I met this person, these people for the advertisements that I put on the back of shopping carts, right? Whatever you want to do to identify this, you can certainly do, and again, highly customizable. Over here is the custom contacts field. So people keep track of different data points. There's different things that are important to different people. So we have all the standard stuff in there, birth dates and anniversaries and home close dates, etc. But maybe you like to keep track of, their income or the areas of homes these people like, or these people are dog lovers, whatever it winds up being. And you're going to be keeping track of that, right? Because the more rich of a customer profile or lead profile you have on somebody, the more things that you can bring up, the more things that you can connect with them on at different levels, etc., right? So you can go in and you can create your own custom fields. So you can go in, name them whatever you want, and they're pretty cool. You can go in and you can say, like the closed date of the last sale, right? And then from there, we can go in and there's a dollar amount, a text number, date, etc. Right? So we can go ahead, we can add that field in there, right? So really cool thing to do for those of you guys who like to keep better track of that, okay? The other thing that I want to talk about is the contact types. So here you're able to keep track of the different types of people who you're working with. So if you want to keep track of mortgage lenders or title companies, appraisers, banks, inspectors, people at other real estate offices, other agents that you have a personal connection with, that you want to, when new listings come in, you want to then send everybody a mass email and a mass text through LionDesk, say, hey, all of my awesome sphere of really, kick butt agents in the area, I want to send them all this marketing piece on this upcoming listing. So it's not even the MLS, but I'm letting you guys know that this is coming. So this is one of the reasons that we might want to use, contact types. Okay, so we can customize this as much as we want. Custom call disposition. So we do have a built-in power dialer. So for those of you who like to do your hour of power every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and hit your list, you can certainly go into LionDesk. You can sort, you can create a list, and you can start that auto dialer and just start dialing for dollars, right? Now you want to give answers to, or you want to keep notes on that type of stuff. So these are the different call dispositions that you can actually go in and add, okay? Pretty cool feature there. The next section here is your task categories. So again, customizing your task categories, right? Is this for buyers? Is this for sellers? Is this part of marketing? Is this part of the transaction, right? So these are all things that you want to be thinking about. But again, remember, once you put the work in up front and you customize this stuff for yourself, I mean, from there, you're really going to be able to pull that lever, like I said, and start that assembly line. But it does require a little bit of thought if you want to have it customized the way that you want. The system as is plug and play. You can use it today. You can start using all the standard stuff that we have and get going. It's really easy. But for those of you who have bigger ambition, bigger goals of like, listen, I'm at 10 deals. I want to go to 20. And when I get to 20, I want to hire a marketing assistant and a transaction coordinator because I'm really good at working with clients, but I'm not so good at managing this other stuff. If you don't have a roadmap lined up for them, they're never going to be able to follow, and then it's just going to come back to you micromanaging. So that's why I say if you spend a little bit of time playing around with this and figuring it out and maybe even getting out the whiteboard and mapping it out, what happens when a new lead comes in, right? What do I need to do? What do I do if I connect with them? What do I do if I don't connect with them, right? Just kind of map out that flow, like mind map it out, and then implement it here, okay? So tasking categories is another one of those areas. Contact tagging. So tagging is really important. That's kind of how you're doing the majority of your filtering and your reporting inside LionDesk. So you can add as many different tags as you want to the system. So this person came from Zillow, this person came from my website, this person came from Facebook, this person came from the local chamber that I'm at. This person only buys in this subdivision, this person only buys these types of homes, right? Whatever the tagging is that you guys want to do, you guys certainly can do that. So that's what I talk about, like the not planning and how to avoid like costly mistakes. Because you don't have a system ahead of time that will allow you to grow. Many people will wind up coming to us. They've been using one of these other platforms and they're like, it just doesn't fit into how I'm looking to run my business now. It was fine years ago, but it's not customizable enough. And it also doesn't connect to X, Y, and Z. So then they come over and we kind of have to go through the same process with them. Okay. So that's how you're going to be customizing the system. Again, these are really, really important things to do if you're looking to do that. I'll just touch on this really quickly, like lead distribution. So if you are part of a team or you're a broker, our system connects to like 150 other applications. We consider ourselves as the acting hub for a real estate business, whether you're agent, team, or broker. So if you do lead routing, our system does connect to hundreds of other platforms, not only websites, but other real estate related applications. It does connect to other transaction management platforms and some of the MLSs. There's a lot of different things that it does here. And then for our brokers, we have this admin. So this is all part of that setting your system up part that I talked about. Okay. So the other thing that I want to talk about is your data, right, and your contacts. So our system does a whole bunch of stuff, and we're going to kind of go through some of that stuff at a higher level. But first and foremost is your data. So I was just recently working with a lady, and she was using 2 different systems, and a ton of contacts were in her phone, and that was the biggest problem. So what we did is we exported all of her information into an Excel CSV file. And there was I think 1,100 contacts, right? It was a little daunting to go through, but it was important, right? So we went through and we brought the databases over, we put them into the Excel format, right, the CSV, and then she went through line by line and started deleting stuff out. So if she had some weird random note, she might get rid of that. She started to making sure that she had all the phone numbers in the right order, the contacts in the right order, maybe the spouse information in the right order, but she literally took the time to go through her data so that when she uploaded it into the system, she had fresh, clean data to start working with, right? So the reason that that's so important is because a lot of these people you're going to start putting on automated campaigns. And you want to make sure that you have the right data in the right field when you're calling upon specific things to happen within the platform, right? So making sure that the anniversary or the spouse's name was right in the first place is really important, because you don't want it to say, hey, spouse name. You want it to say, hey, Martha, I realize that it's the 2-year anniversary of our from us working together. I just want to check in and see how the house is going, right? Something like that. So that the cleaner the data, the better. And then the second part of that is the more rich of a customer profile, meaning that the more data that you can collect on an individual, the deeper that you can connect with that person. And real estate is all about relationships, right? We want to, as agents, we want to connect with these people. So even if we get a lead that comes in, let's say that we get a random lead through Zillow and we are able to connect with them, right? So we want to talk to them. They might not be ready today, but people don't buy houses like they buy cups of Starbucks, right? The home buying cycle, depending on geographic and demographic, is 3, 4, 6 years. So we might have gotten this lead from, John Smith via Zillow, and John wasn't quite ready yet. He and his girlfriend, they just moved in together, right? They're thinking about getting engaged or whatever, right? He thinks this might be the one. Stuff like that, we want to keep track of those notes. So, being able to go in and add an activity and say, hey, listen, they just moved into, these condos down the street. They're just, John's just kind of looking around, blah, 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 blah. So John's obviously not ready right now, but John's a great prospect in which we want to fall back on or come back to in 6, 8 months and say, hey, John, just wanted to check, how's the apartment going? Did you realize that the condos right down the street are literally going to cost you the same money if you wanted to own your place versus renting the place, or you just want to connect with them on a little bit more of a personal level, and you're going to be constantly reaching out to these people. So being able to pull little pieces of specific data out to reference just helps with that bond, right? It just brings up the relevance. So you're not like calling somebody and being like, hey, John, I called you 6 months ago, just checking in. Like, connect with these people, learn about them, right? Be interested in them. As real estate agents, again, or people in real estate, like, we're people, right? We need to connect with these people. So again, the more stuff that we can have in here, the better. So this is John's profile, or in this case, this is Phil's profile. So as you can see, email address, office stuff, we can go in and we can add our tags in here, whatever it is, custom fields, we can go in there, we can start adding that. And then over here, we have the entire activity log of everything that's happened from the time that the lead originated all the way through the process. So if you're sending emails and you're following up with calls, you're sending video emails or video text message, all of this stuff is going to be here in this contact activity line. So again, you pick up that phone, you call John 6 months after the last call that we did with him, and you say, hey, I sent you this. It's really easy to kind of get a quick idea as far as what's going on, right? And if you want to look at that individually, you can obviously do that by clicking here, okay? So from here, you're going to be able to go into the system, and you're going to be able to see any tasks that are associated with that person, right? You're going to see any auto drip campaigns that might be associated with that person, and then you have your deals, right? So everything around John, or Phil in this case, is here. So we just open up his profile, we're going to see what's going on, we're going to see the tasks, and we're going to see the autopilot campaigns, okay? From within this contact record, you can do a lot of things. You can email, you can text, you can call, You can store documents. You obviously have your marketing section, your properties, the timeline of the customer, and you can obviously sync our system with Gmail, right? So our system does, as I mentioned before, we like to consider it the hub of your real estate business. And from there, it connects to all these other applications. So your Gmail and your calendar, your websites, and different applications can all be plugged into this one, okay? Lastly, I want to talk about the marketing section. And that's kind of what I said, where not having to recreate the wheel, right? So when you bring in your contacts, you import your contacts into the system, right? You can then create auto campaigns or auto drip campaigns. And these can be emails, these can be text messages, these can be video emails, these can be all kinds of different things. You can put transaction plans in here. And this is kind of what they look like. So I mentioned earlier there's hundreds. Well, now there's thousands. There's 1,000, over 1,000 at this point, entries that you can actually put into the system. So in here, these are all different campaigns that our users who are actually using LionDesk successfully share with the community. So here is a 1-year renter drip, just as an example that somebody shared. So we can go in and we can take a look at that. Text contact, and here's the subject. Do this, right? This is all text contact information for a drip. As you can see, how many days out, at what time, all of these things are already done for you. So it doesn't matter. If you're just getting in the business, if you've been in the business, if there's areas that you want to expand on, right? A lot of campaigns, a lot of triggers, a lot of these things are already built into the system for you guys so that you don't have to recreate the wheel. All you do is you download it, you add it to the campaign, and then from there you can create your trigger that makes it, automatically happen. I do obviously recommend changing the signature and going through each one to customize it just slightly to how you conduct your business. But the majority of that stuff is actually done for you, which is really nice. So, not having to recreate the wheel is just a huge time saver. And again, in our community, people are always sharing things, which makes it really, really nice. So again, kind of going back, making sure that we have clean data, number one. Number two is setting up the system, like how to automate and the process, how to do that. And then from there is the automation process, right? So when new leads come in, then what happens, who's going to get what emails, etc. So I'm not going to go into the reporting and the calendar. I want to let you guys know that there's a ton of different stuff that LionDesk will do for you, right? I talked about not having to buy 50 million different systems to log into. Your CRM is one. Your transaction management is two. Your autoresponder, your emailing part is three, right? Your reporting part, there's another. Another thing that our system does is you can send video email, right? So if you're into doing video, you can send video email through the system. So any of those people who like to do videos, you certainly can do that. And then you just plug it right into an actual marketing campaign, right? Say create email template, and then from there you can go in and you can do that, or you can do it one-off. So if I wanted to go back to my contact and I wanted to shoot a quick video and send it off to my client, Phil here, actually no, Catherine, I'm sorry. If I wanted to send Catherine an email, I certainly could do that, or a video email. I would just click email. And then from there, I'd obviously give it a subject line. I can use some of the LionDesk pre-stuff, right? So whatever I want. And then from there, I can go ahead and add a video. So maybe it's a pre-recorded video, or maybe it's one that I want to do right now. The cool thing about this is not just video. So the system will also send text messages. So our system will also, like I said, do video, and you can also do mass texting, an individual task, and you can also send video tasks, or I'm sorry, video texts, right, to your client. So quick recap on that. Video texting is a really cool personalized function. I want you to think about it this way. So you can, hold on a second, stop. Emails have less than a 10% open rate, right? I'm sure that the majority of you guys agree with that. So you can send mass emails through the system, but the open rate these days are relatively low. Now, texting is a huge opportunity in my personal opinion, right? Text messaging has like a 98 to a 99% open rate. Think about it for your guys' self right now. How many of you guys have 15 unread text messages or even one? Probably not very many of you, right? Think about your inbox with your emails. So how many unread emails do you have over there, right? Probably quite a few. So just to kind of give you a thought, if you guys aren't using text message, you certainly should. Video text message adds a whole another layer of connection with an actual person, right? You can really connect with them, their face, because they're going to open it, they're going to see it, and then you're going to see like a 30-second video or whatever the video it is that you want to send them. They're going to see it right there in their inbox, right? And right in there in their text message box. They can play that video from right there. So a super effective marketing tool for those of you who like to do text messages, which I think everybody should. I think text messages and direct response, like instant message, is one of the best ways to connect with people, okay? So those are some of the things that LionDesk does. There's a lot more. There's reporting, and like I said, there's a sales dialer, the auto dialer that it can do. The lead routing, which we kind of talked about. The ability for when a lead comes in from different sources to then automatically have things happen, right? So think about that for a second. Lead comes in from your website, you're with a client, you can't necessarily, just tell the client to hold on right there. You're in the middle of a closing or whatever. So the system could then automatically send a text on your behalf, and it could just say, hey, Brian, I'm with a client right now. Would you mind if I call you back in 15 minutes, right? Whatever. So a lot of those things really can be automated from utilizing the system, right? Having a smart calendar and being able to manage your team is another thing that the system is going to be able to do for you. So again, I just wanted to do a quick high-level overview for you guys today. Obviously, if you want an in-depth, how to step-by-step webinar, we certainly have those on our website that you can sign up for. I think that we have some on YouTube that you can check out as well. Really, really cool. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's webinar. I know a lot of people are struggling, like, what should I look for in a system? So I hope that this sheds some light on that. And so, again, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I am going to give you guys a special offer today. The special offer code is LION11, and you're going to save yourself, I think, around $75 odd by utilizing that code. So it's $225 for the entire year. That gives you emailing, contacts, texting, all of those things that we kind of talked about, except for the dialer. You're going to be able to get for that, and that's just it comes out to around $25 a month. But if you want to take up the offer today, that's again Lion11, and you're going to save your guys self about $75. And I'll actually throw in some additional text messages for you guys. So if you guys go above and beyond, and you need more video text messages, I'll certainly throw some of those in there for you guys. So maybe 500 of those I'll throw in, which will be another added savings, I think, of, another $50 or so. So again, $225 today. Save your guys self the money. Yeah, other than that, I hope you guys you enjoyed watching today's webinar. And if you have any questions, please feel free to call the office, call our staff. We are very, very good at response. We have a bunch of people in-house that can help you answer any questions. You can email me personally at randy@liondesk.com. So if you're a bigger broker, you want to talk about, bigger pricing or how to set this up for your entire office, I certainly would help you there. And again, calling us at the office at 760-501-8582. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's quick webinar, and I really appreciate your time. Thanks so much, and have a great day.